I've seen a lot in my 80 years. I remember when milk was delivered to your doorstep in glass bottles, when a loaf of bread cost a nickel, and when a brand new car could be had for under $2,000. I've lived through recessions, booms, wars, and wild technological revolutions. I watched the world move from rotary phones to smartphones, from handwritten letters to instant global messaging. Heck, I even remember when owning a television was a big deal, black and white with rabbit ear antennas. I saw the rise of credit cards. People were terrified of them at first. Plastic money, that'll never work, they said. Then came the internet, which many thought was just a passing fad. Fast forward a few decades and now people are earning a living from their laptops while sitting on a beach. I've witnessed the birth of online banking, mobile payments, stock trading apps, and digital wallets. All things we couldn't even dream of back when I was a kid. But I'll tell you something honest. Out of everything I've seen in my lifetime, the moon landing, color TVs, self-driving cars, nothing has stirred up as much excitement, confusion, and downright heated debate as this new wave of digital currency, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, blockchains, NFTs. It's a jungle of new terms and wild speculation. Some call it the future of finance, others call it a ticking time bomb. And truth be told, even folks half my age can't seem to agree on what it all means. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be some Wall Street genius. I've never mined Bitcoin in my basement. I don't own a fancy NFT, and I don't have a portfolio full of altcoins. But what I do have is perspective. I've spent 8 decades watching how money moves. I've seen what lasts and what fizzles. I know what hype looks like, and I know when something deserves a second look. And make no mistake, cryptocurrency has caught my eye, not because it's flashy, but because it's different. So let me give it to you straight. No tech jargon, no hype trains, no fear-mongering either. Just a little old-fashioned wisdom from someone who's watched the financial world reinvent itself time and time again, and who's still sharp enough to recognize when a new chapter might be worth reading. The rise of digital currency. When I first heard about Bitcoin, I honestly thought it was some kind of internet game, maybe points you earned online, like a reward system for computer nerds. I didn't take it seriously. Most folks my age didn't. But then I watched it climb, from a few pennies to a few dollars, then to a few hundred, and before I knew it, people were mortgaging their homes to get in at tens of thousands per coin. That's when I realized this wasn't just a passing tech fad. Something real was happening, and suddenly everyone was talking about it. Young folks calling it the future of money, hedge fund guys jumping on board, and regular people trying to turn pocket change into fortunes. Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain, NFTs, terms that didn't even exist a decade ago were now dinner table conversation. But let me tell you something I've learned across the decades. Every generation thinks they've discovered the golden ticket. Back in my day, it was gold, solid, heavy, tucked away in vaults. Then came the rise of the stock market, mutual funds, blue chips, the buy and hold strategy. After that, it was tech startups. I remember when people thought investing in Apple or Microsoft was pure insanity. Now, they're household names, and now here we are, crypto, digital coins, decentralized networks, assets you can't see or hold in your hand. Yet people are trading them for real-world money, homes, even art. And while the rules are still being written and the tech is still evolving, let me be very clear about one thing. It's not fake, it's not a scam, and it's not going away. But it's also not magic. It's not going to make you rich overnight. It's not immune to risk. And it sure as heck doesn't replace the value of hard work, smart thinking, and patience. For every story of someone who made a fortune, there's another of someone who lost their life savings trying to get in. Quick. Crypto may be digital, but the wisdom needed to navigate it is timeless. If you're thinking about diving in, don't let the headlines or hype make the decision for you. Understand what you're dealing with. Respect the risk. And remember, technology changes fast, but financial fundamentals, they stay the same. The risks are real. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. Back in my 40s, I made what I thought was a smart investment. Everyone around me was buzzing about it. guaranteed profits, can't lose opportunity, you name it. I jumped, entrusted the hype, and watched a good chunk of my savings disappear just like that. Why? Because I ignored one of the most important financial rules I've ever learned. If you don't understand it, don't bet your future on it. And that lesson? It applies to cryptocurrency more than anything else today. Crypto might look shiny and exciting on the surface, but under the hood, it's a wild ride. Prices can swing by thousands of dollars in a matter of hours. Scams are everywhere. Fake coins, fake apps, shady experts who vanish overnight. And if you lose your digital wallet password, that money is gone. No helpline, no bank to call, no getting it back. There's no safety net in this world. Not yet. So here's my advice, plain and simple. Never invest money you can't afford to lose. Crypto should never be your rent money, your emergency fund, or your entire retirement plan. And if anyone tells you they can guarantee returns or promises you'll double your money in weeks, walk away, fast. That's not opportunity, that's a trap. The potential is huge. If you're smart now, don't get me wrong, this isn't a scare story. I'm not anti-crypto. In fact, I believe it has real potential. I've seen enough of life to recognize when something is more than just a passing trend. Crypto is opening doors that were bolted shut for generations. It's giving people in underserved communities access to money without needing a traditional bank. It's making transactions faster, cutting out middlemen, and challenging outdated financial systems that have failed too many for too long. This isn't just about money. It's about freedom, access, and evolution. But, and this is a big but, potential. Without preparation is a recipe for regret. Crypto is powerful, yes, but like any powerful tool, you need to learn how to use it before it works for you, not against you. That means educating yourself, taking your time, asking questions, studying the technology, the risks, and the rewards, not just watching a TikTok and throwing in your paycheck. The younger generation? You've got the drive, the curiosity, the hunger to learn. Use it. Don't treat crypto like a scratch-off ticket. Treat it like what it is, a tool. And tools don't work on their own. You have to learn how to use them. What I'd tell my grandkids, if one of my grandkids came up to me and asked, "Grandpa, should I invest in crypto?" I'd look them in the eye, take a deep breath, and say, learn first. Invest second. Don't jump into something just because it's trending or your friends are doing it. That's how people get burned. Take the time to understand what you're putting your money into. Ask the hard questions. Dig into the why, not just the wow. Don't follow hype, follow logic. Hype is loud, logic is quiet, but logic will keep you steady when the noise gets too loud and the market starts spinning like a roulette wheel. Don't chase headlines, chase facts. And if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Keep your emotions out of your wallet. Fear and greed have wrecked more bank accounts than bad luck ever did. You've got to stay calm when others panic and humble when others get greedy. Investing should be like planting a tree, not buying a lottery ticket. You water it. You wait. You don't yank it out of the ground every time the wind blows. And finally, maybe most importantly, never trade peace of mind for a chance to get rich quick. Money comes and goes, but your peace, that's priceless. If an investment keeps you up at night, if it makes you feel anxious or desperate, it's not worth it. No matter the promise, no matter the potential payoff, because at the end of the day, life's not about chasing every dollar. It's about living with wisdom, intention, and a little bit of calm in your heart. So yes, explore. Be curious. The world's changing fast, and I'm proud of you for paying attention. But be smart, be steady, and never forget. The goal isn't just to make money, it's to live well. Final thoughts. I may not be tech savvy. I don't code. I don't trade on apps, and I still think a blockchain sounds like something you'd find in a hardware store. But I know this much. The future of money is shifting right under our feet, and that's not something to fear. Change isn't the enemy. It just needs to be met with curiosity, caution, and wisdom. So whether you're dipping your toes into crypto for the first time, already knee-deep in altcoins, or just watching from the sidelines, here's my advice. Pause, breathe, think. Don't let the rush pull you faster than your understanding can handle. Ask questions, learn from others' mistakes, and don't be afraid to admit when something doesn't make sense, because that's usually where the biggest lessons live. The goal isn't just to make a quick buck, it's to build a future that lasts. Fast money? Sure, it feels exciting. It's like lightning in a bottle. But smart money, that's where the real power is. That's the kind of money that brings peace, freedom, and choices, not just for today, but for decades to come. So walk into this new era with both eyes open. Don't just chase the future, understand it. And remember, sometimes the wisest thing you can do is take your time.